Hey guys, I am DM Zone. This is Gamer's Oasis. Let's do some painting, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to both do this video here on the Painting Zone channel, but if you want to come check me out on what I would consider my main channel versus my original channel, I'm going to be doing a video talking about chainmail, and in that I'm actually going to have this miniature I'm getting ready to paint on there as well, and you can learn about chainmail, which as you can see, this miniature here is a part of. Okay guys, so this one here, this chainmail miniature, originally came out probably around 2000. That's when this version of chainmail came out. The video I'm going to be discussing on my main channel is actually the version that came out in 1979, the third edition. However, I do discuss it from the 1971 when it first came out. So I kind of talk about the changes that it makes between the 71 and the 79 version of this game. Some of these miniatures are worth more than others, so I end up not using all my miniatures. I'm going to be selling some of them, but I'll probably talk about that more in a different video. You can see here I have got a stat card for the Owlbear. This is set in the 3rd edition rules. The actual cover art that you get actually is the cover art for the card. This game should have been way more popular than what it was, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this miniature. Comes in 3 parts, not a lot to clean. A fairly clean model. A few burrs. I can pick those off with my fingernail though. Very well crafted miniature. I can tell you these limbs are heavy and that socket is small. There's a little bit of a hard flash line that I won't be able to get to without a blade. This Owlbear painting was fairly simple. A heavy lean towards the original design that was on the box. I'm using fairly inexpensive paints that you can get from many box stores. The reason I plan to keep this miniature is because when I was running my B2 module Keep on the Borderlands, when I got to the Cave G, I was unprepared and I did not have an Owlbear in my repertoire. So I needed to get me an Owlbear. I need to get an Owlbear because not only am I doing that, but I'm also running a solo original Dungeons and Dragons game that I'm going to be posting on my main channel, the DM Zone. I'll have links for it down below. And in that game, I feel like it's important to keep an Owlbear, as Owlbears do sometimes find themselves on random encounter charts and lists. And I'm using dice for decisions and for these random encounters. So I never know when it's actually going to come up. So I need to kind of fill out what I have for my random encounter charts. I made videos a long time ago talking about the different types of painting techniques that I have been doing. If you feel like you would like to see more of these videos, please let me know down in the comments below, and I can go ahead and get more into that. The basics of what I'm doing here today is I'm using thinned out paint to paint the large colors. That's usually referred to as block painting. Then I go ahead and make sure I get that water down so you don't lose detail. I then dry brush over the top to create some highlights, and then I used a simple black wash for most things to go ahead and create a depth of field so that when you're looking at the miniature, it feels like it's got more to it, more life than maybe what it does. Some of the colors I wish were a little bit farther apart. The tan and the brown is fairly close, for example, but I think it's enough to make a difference between the fur and the feathers. When I got done with this part, I had to go do some touch-up. So I touched up around things like the eyes and where the fur meets the feathers, for example, and some of the claws. I also had to paint the base a different color since I had base when I primed the miniature white. You can surpass some of the block painting by painting the original model a different color with a primer, especially when you're doing an army. Like for example, when I get to my orcs, they're all painted sort of an olive green, the entire base. That means I don't even have to do that olive green to get that started. It's already there. The basing I did was super simple. It's a basic PVA glue, i.e. Elmer's glue, which by the way dries clear when it's on there. It's white when you put it on so you can see it. It's also water soluble, so you have to be careful with how much water and how soon you try and paint the base after you have that on there. It will withstand some water, and it will withstand a lot more once it is dry. But if you try to paint too soon, you're just going to make the glue fail. With the base itself, I use sand and I use gravel. I use a wet blend technique over it, and then I went over it more with cleaner water to get the right amount of paint left behind. This created a depth where the base of the model was actually black essentially, and the stones were just a darker color than what they originally were. I then went over and got some of my green flock that was kind of bush-like, like what you find on those train set trees and that type of thing. I actually believe that this was from a failed tree that basically was falling apart, so I just took all the flock off it. I used more PVA glue there to go ahead and get that to stick. Then once it's all done, I'll go ahead and hit it with a matte, not a gloss, clear coat. You can find that also at most hardware stores. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. I'm trying to keep the time on these videos down a little bit. I'm going to be painting I'm going to try and do a weekly live stream on Twitch where it'll be unedited and you'll have the ability to talk with me while I do things. You'll probably see me doing other things on there as well. So if you're wanting just painting videos, check me out here. Also, you can find me on Facebook under the name DM Zone. I'm going to be selling some of my miniatures. This particular one I'm not selling. This is going to go in my personal collection. I have other things though, like for example this thing here, right here. I have the wings over here, and I do sci-fi stuff like 40K and that type of stuff. I'm going to be getting rid of a lot of my miniatures. So if you have a request for me to paint something, or you want to see how I do it, feel free to ask down below for me to paint a certain type of thing. If I have something close to it, maybe I'll swing that way and paint it. If it's something I don't plan to keep, I probably will sell it. I'll let you guys know when and where I sell things. I'll probably make some Facebook posts or something like that. Where I'm going to sell, I don't know. Still very early in this. I just wanted to have a B-roll for my Chainmail Miniature game. Chainmail Miniature video. And this was a good thing. Next thing I think I'm going to be doing, because this video looked like it was a little too short, is some dwarves, which I have somewheres. Oh, here we go. Let me move this right here. Yes, I have these dwarves. So look for this coming up next. 2 undead dwarves. This will actually be the second box of these I have. So I will have it for my personal collection again. About 4 undead dwarves, which is pretty nice. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. I don't know what my outro is going to be yet. Like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think a good outro would be. Thank you for watching. Bye.